All right, everybody. Welcome to the United Center for the Big Ten tournament covered by WCBN Sports. My name is Nick Hornberg. Alongside me, Daniel Thompson for the first half. Nate Sorensen and Lucas Vargas will bring us the second half. The Michigan Wolverines playing their first game of the tournament against the Iowa Hawkeyes tonight. Daniel, Michigan hasn't played a lot in the last 2 weeks. Iowa played last night, 21-point win over the Fighting Illini of Illinois. But Fran McCaffrey's men look to be solidly NCAA tournament. And what are you looking for tonight?
Well, I think a big issue, one of the most important factors here is Charles Matthews. He is in the starting lineup. So we'll see how much he plays. It was reported that Matthews would be at least dressed for the Michigan State game. Did not see a second on the court. His health is vital. It was over 20 days now that Charles Matthews sustained his injury versus Michigan State back in the Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor.
Yes, and as stated, Iowa already playing their second game of the tournament. Michigan as a 3 seed, not playing until today. And very interesting, some fireworks already. 2-seeded Purdue getting upset by the Minnesota Golden Gophers less than an hour ago. And you hear there a cheer from the Chrysler crowd, very pro-Michigan crowd here, at the United Center, as Charles Matthews from the Chicago area originally, being announced as a starter, has not played in nearly 3 weeks.
Indeed, Michigan has only had to play 3 games without him, though. You are not going to see any college basketball teams as well rested as Michigan. And should they lose in this first round, they're going to end up having played only 4 games in a 4-week stretch going into March Madness. They've only had 3 games without Charles Matthews. In the past 15 days, Michigan has only played 2 games. A win on the road against Maryland and a loss, blowing a 12-point lead against Michigan State in East Lansing. So, well-rested team. Iowa, that's not the case. They were on a 4-game skid. They won back-to-back games on buzzer beaters. People said they might be a little bit lucky. Then they went on a really unlucky 4-game skid, lost the game in Nebraska to the Huskers in Lincoln in overtime. And this team was really just not looking good going into the tournament. And they have that great bounce-back 21-point victory over the Illini last night. So it's really hard to gauge how this Iowa team is playing, at least momentum-wise. But I can assure you they're not as well rested as the Wolverines.
All right, and we will find out now if Michigan's rust takes place or Iowa being tired, and Iowa will take the opening face-off. That's camp. That is Jordan Bohannon, rather. Bohannon slings it out to the right, and a quick layup in Iowa with their first points of the game. Tyler Cook, and Xavier Simpson plays quick inbound to Poole. Now back to Simpson.
And worth noting that Matthews did start, so that he's good to go, it would appear.
And Ignas Brazdeikis up top gives it to Charles Matthews, his first touch of the ball of the game. Matthews, ball into Teske underneath. Teske is fouled.
Good offensive start for the Wolverines. They greatly struggled the last time we saw them out there on the court in East Lansing. The defense overall had a fine effort, but the offense really failed to produce. John Teske now going to the line. Not his strong suit, but he's been okay in that regard so far this year.
Yep, first foul to Jordan Bohannon as Teske hits the first free throw. Iowa and Michigan only met once in the stands the line to deliver a second, and Teske makes 2 of his 2 free throws, and the game is tied at 2. And now Bohannon off a pick, now to Cook to the right wing, and Cook lays it back to White, moves to the top of the key for Luke Garza.
And that's a mismatch right there. Ignas Brazdeikis, not a small guy by any means, but just has Garza has maybe 50 pounds on him, and that was an easy move there for Garza to finish the layup.
Xavier Simpson on a pick out to Matthews at the corner. Matthews pump fakes now to Poole, now to Simpson at the top. Simpson plays another underneath to Teske. Teske, nobody else, home with the dunk.
Great offensive movement there. At times, this offense has stagnated and looked very bland, no one moving. Not the case at all on that possession.
Bohannon forced back by Teskey. Now to Garza, to Moss. Isaiah Moss now to Garza from about 15 feet, and it goes. Iowa getting back out ahead, and Michigan trying to keep pace. And Xavier Simpson.
If you're Michigan, those are the shots you want Garza to take, though. 15-footers are much better than 1-footers.
And Charles Matthews now to Xavier Simpson. Simpson at the top, looking for a passing lane. Jordan Poole moving around. Simpson gets it off to Brazdeikis. Brazdeikis to the baseline from about 20 feet away. We'll play it back to Teskey. Now to Brazdeikis. Brazdeikis to the baseline. Brazdeikis backhand pass to Teskey. Now to Simpson. Simpson will drive straight to the hoop. Now back out to Matthews. Matthews for 3 from the left wing. No. And a rebound by Luke Garza. And
still a good-looking offense there.
Now Tyler Cook goes the other way for the Hawkeyes. To the rim over on Teskey. Will not go. Rebound by Jordan Poole. Now Michigan has the opportunity to break. And Poole will go straight. Lays it back to Simpson. And Michigan slows it down as Xavier Simpson motions Brazdeikis to the left. And Brazdeikis for a long 3 goes!
And that will set the United Center into a roar right there. Definitely a Michigan crowd.
And Bohannon tries to play a quick pass and really kicked away out of bounds by Xavier Simpson. Iowa will have an inbound. 17.5 minutes left in the first half. Michigan up 7-6 on Iowa.
I think punt would be maybe a more accurate way to describe that. It was thrown right off Xavier Simpson's foot, and that ball goes flying beyond the cheerleaders.
And that will be Joe Weiskamp deliver the inbound to Jordan Bohannon. And Bohannon is on the right. Bohannon pick set by Garza. Bohannon moves. Garza rolls. And a steal by Jordan Poole. 2-on-1. Poole will go straight to the rim himself. And it goes after a bit of an interesting roll. And Michigan extends the lead to 3. Bohannon on the left. Now going the other way for Iowa. And Bohannon's pick set by Garza. Now Garza will roll. And now Tyler Cook at the top and a kick by Teskey.
Going back to that transition bucket for Jordan Poole, I mean, that looked a bit like a cornerback just reading a route and taking the ball the other way. I mean, that was a telegraphed pass if I've ever seen one right there from the point guard, making it too easy for Jordan Poole.
And Bohannon moves to the center. Teskey gets back on Cook. Garza for 3. Did Brazdeikis get a finger on it? No, he didn't, but he misses anyway. Rebound by Xavier Simpson. And Simpson going the other way. Teskey sets a pick. Simpson moves in. Simpson back to Brazdeikis. Brazdeikis moves to free throw line. Now moves back. Gives it to Matthews. Teskey sets a pick for Matthews. Matthews goes opposite way of the pick and gets forced back. Now Matthews to Brazdeikis. Brazdeikis drives straight to the hoop and draws a foul.
So Michigan, who on their first 3 possessions defensively struggled greatly, gave up 3 buckets in 3 possessions, down to a 6-4 deficit early. They've really looked better offensively and defensively, both sides, and getting that first half lead is very vital here. The winner in the previous 2 games we've seen so far today was the team that scored less in the second half, but both of the winners, Wisconsin and Minnesota, got out to big first half leads.
And that was Joe Weiskamp's first personal foul, and Brazdeikis misses the first free throw. Interesting to see the last month or so, Brazdeikis' free throw shooting has not been all that great after an excellent start to the season.
Indeed, we'll see if he can recover here for the second of a 2 free throw trip.
Brazdeikis misses them both, and a rebound by Weiskamp. Now to Bohannon going out to the right. And Bohannon moves to the middle. As Iowa crisscrossing guards, as Weiskamp now to Cook at the free throw line. Cook will go in against Teskey, and Jordan Poole gets a tap, but Isaiah Moss able to get to the ball in the corner. And Moss forced back, lays it off to Bohannon near the half court. 10 seconds left on the shot clock as Jordan Bohannon looks to drive on Brazdeikis. Bohannon, ball into Garza, and off Garza, out of bounds, Michigan basketball.
And it's an interesting trend for the Wolverines. If John Teskey has become one of the most consistent free throw shooters, he's 2 for 2. Brazdeikis 0 for 2.
Free throw shooting really an Achilles heel of this Michigan team last season, and they started the season better, but really they've fallen back to earth to a large extent. Brazdeikis now to Simpson at the top, now to Matthews on the left wing, back to Simpson at the top. And Simpson now to Poole. Poole pulls up for a quick 3, and it goes!
And Jordan Poole now with a quick 5 points. That's more points than he's gotten in a lot of games in 2019. Encouraging to see a big start from him.
Xavier Simpson nearly taps the ball away from Bohannon, but Bohannon recovers and gets it to Garza. Garza posting up against Brazdeikis. Garza, and gets it to go after an interesting roll.
Yeah, really solid defense there by Brazdeikis, and not a bad look by Garza, but he did get a pretty favorable treatment from the rim right there.
And now Simpson to Matthews on the left wing, back to Simpson at the top. And now Simpson to Matthews at the top. Matthews to Brazdeikis at the corner. Brazdeikis for a corner three, and in and out. Teskey almost gets the offensive rebound, but Garza able to power him out. And Bohannon to Weiskamp at the corner. Good defense by Matthews, and a quick bounce pass into Garza on the post against Brazdeikis, and a steal by Brazdeikis. And Matthews coming down the left wing. Iowa gets numbers back over the top to Teskey.
And a great finishing move there by Teskey. That's one of the parts of his games that's not fully developed yet. But right there, he did an amazing move to corroborate himself and and bank it in.
Tyler Cook, a drive to the baseline and an easy layup. And Poole plays an inbound to Simpson. And Xavier Simpson going to slow Michigan offense down. 14 and a half minutes left in the first half. Michigan up 14-10. And Matthews over the top to Teskey, back to Simpson. Simpson pulls up for a three. Good!
And he looked good in the pregame warmups. His three ball has really come a long way this season.
And Bohannon trying to speed it up for Iowa, but Michigan has numbers back. And Garza will drive on Brazdeikis. Garza back to Bohannon. Now to Moss, and Simpson jumps over, and Moss from about 15 feet in it goes. And Simpson plays an inbound to Jordan Poole, back to Simpson. And Michigan once again playing a little bit slower. Iowa has two players at the scorer's table. Looks like they will make the first substitutions. Matthews to Simpson. Back to Matthews. Matthews, corner three. Does not go, but Teskey able to hit it out. Now Matthews will drive to the rim. Matthews from 8 feet, and it will not go, but Teskey able to get a hand on it, but Iowa able to come away with it. And Tyler Cook will drive on Matthews. Cook goes up and contested shot. Clock stoppage. I don't believe that was a foul. Not sure why. Either way, there is a timeout on the court.
And the timeout would probably be for the under 16, as we've had a really high flying first 6.5 minutes.
There was no stoppage. It was a personal foul on Charles Matthews.
There we go. And that's only going to be the first against Michigan, second against Michigan, I believe.
First.
No, the first. Okay, they were quick to get that up on the scoreboard then.
And as you said, it is the first time out of the game. 13 and a half minutes left in the first half. Michigan 17, Iowa 12. Jordan Poole with 5 points. John Teskey with 6 on the Michigan side. Pacing the Wolverines. Iowa side, 10-6, and Tyler Cook, who has 4.
And those first 6.5 minutes look pretty okay there for Charles Matthews. Nothing spectacular, but for a guy who just missed 3 weeks due to injury, that's a pretty encouraging sign to see him playing at his usual tempo. Had a really good look for a corner three, and it was a good-looking shot. Just couldn't quite connect.
Matthews doesn't look inhibited athletically. However, he is 0 for 3 from the field, including 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. And Xavier Simpson already 4 assists early on in this game, and be interesting to see what adjustments Fran McCaffrey is able to make as Michigan. While some of the shots haven't fallen, Michigan has largely had their way on offense.
Absolutely, and that was the real difference maker in the first meeting back on February 1st. Michigan just had no identity on offense for nearly the entire game, and perhaps more importantly, they got out to a big deficit to start that one.
Yes, and the United Center, as you said, Daniel, generally pro-Michigan overall. And, of course, the last game of what has been a fairly exciting day in the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament. Day started Michigan State with a victory over Ohio State, and Wisconsin a victory over your hometown Huskers, Daniel. And the most exciting game yet so far, Minnesota 75-73 victory over Purdue.
A real thriller, that one. Minnesota took as big as a lead of 10 points, but then they got down in a short amount of time. Purdue really closing in on that lead quickly. Ultimately, Minnesota prevailed. And, I mean, that was one of a couple shockers so far today. I mean, perhaps the biggest upset of the tournament was 13 Nebraska upsetting 5 Maryland yesterday. But the national landscape has really shaken in Michigan's favor so far these past couple of days. Michigan right now, according to most bracketologists, is a 2 seed. They're definitely right on that border of a 2 and a 3. A couple of other teams riding that 3 and 2 border, Texas Tech, Purdue, and LSU, all going down in the past 28 hours. So that's a big development there for the Wolverines. And maybe requires them to not go as deep in this tournament as they would have needed to in order to lock up a 2 seed. However, those developments also give a huge incentive for Michigan to win this game, because that would be theoretically an easier opponent in the next round, giving Michigan a very easy path to Sunday.
And here's the first appearance of Colin Castleton and Isaiah Livers for Michigan, and Iowa also making 2 substitutions, Ryan Kriener and Nicholas Bayer, as Tyler Cook goes for a layup, and rebound by Xavier Simpson. Now Michigan has the opportunity to break, and Isaiah Livers pulls up for 3, and too far, will not go. Rebound, believe that is by Nicholas Bayer, and Bayer to Kriener. Kriener for 3, and off the front of the rim, and a rebound by Livers. As the game is sped up out of the timeout, Xavier Simpson will slow it down, however. Brosdakis goes to the baseline. Brosdakis goes up and got it tapped away, blocked by Bayer.
He had an open Isaiah Livers in the corner. Could have gone there instead.
And Connor McCaffrey in the game for the Hawkeyes as well. And Kriener to McCaffrey. McCaffrey guarded by Castleton. Castleton moves in to cover Kriener. And now Bayer, guarded by Brosdakis. Bayer bounce pass to Cook. Cook will go in, and Cook out to McCaffrey on the corner, wide open and in and out, but an offensive rebound by Kriener. And now Bayer, McCaffrey on Simpson. McCaffrey gets it to go and one. Xavier Simpson really taken out of position, really kind of leaning back first on McCaffrey.
And, of course, McCaffrey is a familiar name for any Big Ten basketball fans. Connor, the son of Iowa head coach Fran McCaffrey, gets on the scoreboard early here with a chance to make it a 2-point game if he can finish up this old-fashioned 3-point play.
And looks like some more substitutions. Eli Brooks will come in for the Wolverines to replace Xavier Simpson. John Beilein's auto bench rule coming into effect. And just as well, I believe that is Maisha Daly coming in for the Hawkeyes. And McCaffrey will make that free throw. And Jordan Poole will look to deliver an inbound to Eli Brooks in the corner. Risky pass there. Daly gets a finger on it. And Brooks comes in as Iowa is pressing. Now gets it out to Poole. And Iowa playing for the trap there, but good pass by Poole out to Eli Brooks. Brooks now to Livers. Back to Brooks at the top. Castleton calling for the ball. Ultimately, ball given to Poole. Now Eli Brooks will pull up for 3 and off the front and back of the rim. And Iowa going the other way has the opportunity to tie the score. McCaffrey will drive. And McCaffrey to Kriener. Now McCaffrey. Bayer. Back to McCaffrey on the left. McCaffrey, ball into Kriener. Jordan Poole goes up. And is that like a charge called on Bayer?
It's going to be Michigan basketball, I believe they just said. Couldn't quite pick it up. Foul assessed on Michigan, it looks like. 3-2 now in the foul game. The officials did come in, though, waving their arms, indicating foul was on the court. Basket does not count.
Yeah, right. That is an over-the-back foul on Jordan Poole. Left his feet as that was Kriener, who was not yet gone up. And another timeout, the under-12 timeout. Now Michigan 0 for their last 5, has not scored in 2.5 minutes. And Iowa cut the lead to 2. Michigan up 17-15.
Indeed, and they're well on their way here through a 5-0 run real quick. Potentially could add on to that, as Michigan's offense has gone cold after a quick start.
Yes, of course. One of perhaps the most prolific criticism of Michigan basketball all season is that they lack depth, and you see it there. John Beilein using the auto bench rule as Charles Matthews and Xavier Simpson both on the bench. And really the offense stagnated without them. Eli Brooks, Colin Castleton, and Isaiah Livers all in, as John Teskey had also gone to the bench.
It'll be interesting to see if the Wolverines, coming out of the under-12 timeout, change up the lineup. I'd have to expect Beilein will insert more offense into the lineup. Of course, the offense looks so different without the main ball handler, Xavier Simpson, on the bench. So I would have to think after that bit of a struggle right there, Simpson will be coming right back into this game.
It'll be interesting to see. backup point guard, but it managed in a fairly interesting manner the last couple weeks as Michigan closed out the season. David DeJulia saw a lot more minutes. And as the alumni spotlight on the board, Sir James Earl Jones, noted Michigan alumni, voice of perhaps most famously Darth Vader in the Star Wars franchise, along with the voice of Mufasa in The Lion King.
Or my favorite role of his, the pregame video for Michigan football.
I thought you were about to say his role in Dr. Strangelove as a co-pilot to Major Kong.
Oh, no, I've never seen Dr. Strangelove, but I'm aware that that is a famous role of his. But really, no other video gets me as excited as that Michigan football pregame video.
And now this timeout really taken a little time, a lot more than the first one. 11 minutes, 48 seconds left in the first half. Michigan with a 17-15 lead over the Iowa Hawkeyes. The winner will play the second semifinal tomorrow against the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
So a lot on the line here because, I mean, Minnesota being the lowest seeded team remaining, this game, in theory, offers the easiest path to Championship Sunday.
In theory, of course, and of course, nobody wants to play the Michigan State Spartans tomorrow, as Michigan State looks to be full go after a commanding win over the Ohio State Buckeyes earlier today. Ohio State made it cut the score to a little bit of a smaller margin at the tail end of the game, but really the Spartans dominating that game through and through, as now both teams have retaken the court. And Iowa will have an inbound, of course, off the over and back foul to Jordan Poole, and John Beilein opting not to bench Jordan Poole. Eli Brooks still in there, however. John Teskey and Charles Matthews back in the game. And McCaffrey stands on the baseline to deliver the inbound. And a long pass to Kreiner as Joe Weiskamp is back in for the Hawkeyes. Kreiner stripped clean by Teskey. And now Jordan Poole going down the left side for Michigan. Poole slows down the offense as Eli Brooks has it on the right. Now to Livers. Livers back to Brooks. Brooks will move, picks up by Matthews, and Poole now to Brooks. Eli Brooks looking for a passing lane, has to give it to Matthews from point blank, and Matthews to Brooks. Brooks will drive. Brooks pulls up from 10 feet and off the backboard, does not hit the rim, and a rebound by Kreiner. Now McCaffrey. McCaffrey to Daly. Daly back out to Kreiner. Kreiner will drive, and Kreiner will not get it to go. A rebound by Teskey.
Going back to that last Michigan offensive possession, a very low percentage shot by a guy who's not known to be a shooter, Eli Brooks. Michigan will have to find a better look on this upcoming possession.
Eli Brooks off a pit set by Teskey. Now to Poole, back to Brooks. Brooks to Teskey at the free throw line. Now Poole. Poole pump fakes. Poole to the free throw line. Poole will sling it to Matthews at the corner. Tipped pass and a steal by Kreiner. Correction, that was Weiskamp. And Bayer with a quick three, and it will not go. And a rebound by Jordan Poole. Now Michigan has the opportunity to fast break. Iowa not able to get numbers back, and Matthews will drive, and Matthews is fouled by Nicholas Bayer.
And gets his opportunity to get on the scoreboard for the first time in nearly a month.
Yes.
Only scored 2 points, I believe, in that Michigan State game where he was injured early on, so might be able to match that mark right here on this trip line. Not great spacing there by Michigan. They had that fast break, but Eli Brooks was basically running right behind Charles Matthews on their way down the court.
And Matthews, much maligned his free throw shooting as Matthews misses the first one off the front of the rim. Jordan Poole will make his first trip to the bench as Xavier Simpson checks in. Beilein going with 2 point guards of Xavier Simpson and Eli Brooks, and Iowa also making a substitution. Jordan Bohannon coming back in.
One of the only ways in which Michigan was not missing Charles Matthews would be his free throw shooting.
And Matthews able to hit the second one, extending the lead back to 3, and now it's McCaffrey with the ball, moves to the right, gives it off to Daly. Daly to Bohannon at the top. Bohannon guarded by Brooks. Bohannon now moves in and back to Bayer at the top. Bayer to Kreiner. Kreiner pulls up for 3, and the Hawkeyes still have yet to make a 3, and Livers a rebound. Now to Matthews. Matthews forced to slow it down, and now Simpson at the corner stops on a dime, able to get it back out to Matthews. Now Teskey at the free throw line. Back to Matthews at the top. Matthews pulls up from about 18 feet and off the front of the rim. And Matthews, his shooting stroke clearly hasn't yet returned to him. And Daly has the ball for the Hawkeyes. Now Bohannon. Bohannon to Kreiner. Kreiner looking for the space on Teske. Teske, one of the premier post defenders in the country, and Kreiner over Teske and gets it to go. Iowa cutting Michigan's lead to 1. Xavier Simpson slowing it down at the half court. And Xavier Simpson, Teske sets a pick. Simpson gets it out to Matthews on the corner, deflected away out of bounds by Bayer.
And an important note here, Michigan has not scored a field goal in the last 4 minutes and 14 seconds of play. Only 1 point in that stretch, with the only point coming from a Charles Matthews free throw. The defense has continued to play well. Right now, they're giving up a pretty respectable amount, but the offense has just gone completely cold ever since the original starting 5 left the court.
Luke Garza back in for the Hawkeyes as Nicholas Bayer goes to the bench and Livers to Brastakis at the corner. Brastakis a corner 3 and will not go. Garza may have gotten a hand to that. And McCaffrey going the other way for the Hawkeyes. And McCaffrey gives it off to Bohannon. Bohannon on the left. Bohannon tries to move to the center. Marked by Livers. I think a bit of a speed mismatch right there. Kreiner sets the pick. But Bohannon gets it off to Kreiner. Good defense by Teske, not allowing Kreiner to roll it to the basket. Kreiner to McCaffrey at the top. McCaffrey marked by Livers. McCaffrey pulls up for 3, and it will not go, but an offensive rebound by Jordan Bohannon. And Bohannon slowing it down for the Hawkeyes as they get a new shot clock. And tips by Teske. Kreiner out to McCaffrey. Now to Garza down low on Brastakis. Now Bohannon pulls up for a quick 3, and it will not go. A rebound by John Teske. And now Simpson trying to push the tempo, but Iowa has numbers back. Simpson will go to the corner and slow it down. Now to Teske, to Brooks. Brooks to Teske at the top. Now to Simpson on the left. Simpson to Brooks. Brooks pulls up for another 3, and it goes!
And Brooks has found some confidence. His first couple shot selections were weak, but one of the big criticisms of him is that early in the year, it looked like he was afraid to shoot. Not anymore.
And almost a steal there. Michigan jumping that pass, and
It's going to be a tie-up.
a jump ball called, and Michigan with the possession arrow as Iowa had won the tip-off. And I believe that was Eli Brooks who forced the jump ball.
One of the most criticized players on this team, Eli Brooks, making a big impact right here. Hitting the 3, and then on the other end of the court, forcing the turnover and getting that jump ball to go Michigan's way, giving them a 4-point lead and possession. First time they've had that big of a lead in the ball in a while now.
And that will be the under 8 timeout. 8 minutes sharp left in the first half. Michigan 21, Iowa 17. Neither team has had a whole lot of fun on the offensive end of late. Michigan won for their last 9. Iowa won for their last 7.
No, it's been a defensive battle here after a very quick, hot offensive start. Only reason why these numbers are about average right now for scoring at the 8-minute mark.
Yes, Michigan's one bucket has been the most recent one. Eli Brooks with that 3. And the only Iowa basket was Ryan Kreiner over John Teske.
And those are the only buckets between the TV timeouts?
Yes, I believe so. As both offenses have gone completely cold.
And that's something we say pretty often during Michigan basketball games.
That isn't something we are unaccustomed to saying at WCBN Sports. Of course, WCBN Sports, the student coverage of Michigan athletics.
Indeed, we are going to be with you throughout this entire TV timeout. One of the best things about WCBN Sports, commercial-free student radio.
Yes, of course, WCBN's coverage will extend to coverage of Michigan basketball over the course of this entire tournament run.
As long as that may be, and we will be on air. The first half hour of the game will not be on air in the Southeast Michigan region because sports has secured an airtime starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, I believe. That game starts at 3:30 Eastern, so make sure if you want to listen to this game tomorrow, should Michigan make it, tune in to our YouTube at 3:30, and if you can't keep listening on YouTube or just want to prefer to listen over the airwaves and you are in the Southeast Michigan area, tune in to 88.3 FM Ann Arbor for WCBN's coverage of Michigan versus Minnesota, should that game happen.
Yes, as stated, the Minnesota Golden Gophers, after a win over the Purdue Boilermakers, Richard Pitino, in his, I believe it's his second season in Minnesota, is now playing in a semifinal for the first time as the head coach of the Gophers. And now they will sit in what is likely either their locker room or their hotel room here in Chicago, watching who they will play tomorrow in the semifinal. And Minnesota really not a team anybody wants to mess with right about now. Put up 75 points against Purdue.
And even though they haven't made too many headlines as a team, Jordan Murphy was a all Big Ten player, so one of the 5 best players in the conference by that measure. Is certainly a player to keep your eyes out for.
And this is actually Richard Pitino's 6th season in Minnesota.
Indeed, so still first time making the semis, I believe.
And the play has resumed. Xavier Simpson takes an inbound and will split 2 defenders, gets it to Livers at the corner. Now Brazdakis back to Xavier Simpson. Simpson gives it off to Livers. Now Simpson at the corner. Simpson will try to move back now to Livers. And Livers is doubled, gets it out to Xavier Simpson, and all the way across court to Brazdakis. Brazdakis pump face will drive. Livers, nobody wants to shoot that 3. Livers with a floating hook, and it goes.
Impressive shot there by Livers. Hands in his face and moving well, taking that shot. Great look, though. 23-17, Wolverine lead.
And Bohannon to Tyler Cook is back in, and a no-look layup will go, and Iowa cutting the lead to 4. Xavier Simpson takes a quick inbound, and Iggy Brazdakis back in the game for the Wolverines. And Xavier Simpson looking for a passing lane, gets it to Brooks at the top. Brooks to Teskey at the free throw line, back to Brooks. And Brooks off a pick from Teskey. Teskey at the top, looking to pull up, but then pump fakes. And now Simpson at the left wing. Simpson will drive. Simpson with that hook shot, and it goes.
And finally, Simpson gives the fans here in Chicago a look at his patented Xavier Simpson sky hook. Nothing but net. 2 points there for the Wolverines.
As the ever-blustery Dan Dockich once said, he is the best hooker he has seen in quite a while. And Isaiah Livers against Garza. Garza with really a standing shot, and it goes. Iowa not going to lie down anytime soon, as Xavier Simpson at the half court. Now to Eli Brooks. Back to Simpson. To Brooks. Simpson again. And Livers back to Simpson. Now to Teskey at the free throw line to Brooks. Brooks pulls up for another 3 and will not go. A rebound by Jordan Bohannon. Eli Brooks perhaps getting a little bit too ambitious, as Jordan Poole walking back over to the scorer's table for Michigan. Bohannon to Daly will pull up, and no, that's Moss rather. And Moss looking to play for the foul, but an offensive rebound by Joe Weiskamp nonetheless. Bohannon for a long 3. That's NBA length. Will not go. Rebound by Xavier Simpson. And Simpson trying to push the tempo to Brooks. Brooks to Brazdakis. Brazdakis pump fakes and will drive up the baseline. Brazdakis into the restricted area, and it will not go. A rebound by Tyler Cook. And Cook will drive all the way on Livers, and it will not go, but a rebound by Garza. Garza on Teskey, a block by Teskey, and a rebound off to Simpson. Now Simpson will slow it down as Iowa has numbers back. Now to Brooks. Brooks will drive. Now to Brazdakis. No, that's Teskey for the dunk. 5 minutes, 15 seconds left, and Iowa will try to slow it down. Jordan Bohannon has the ball at the top for the Hawkeyes. And Charles Matthews now over to the scorer's table will check in at the next stoppage. And Isaiah Moss gives it out to Tyler Cook at the top. Cook will drive on Teskey. Cook goes up, and it goes. Tyler Cook largely having his way in the paint.
And John Teskey is a phenomenal defender, and that hasn't changed tonight, but Tyler Cook has made some phenomenal plays by the basket right now.
And Simpson to Brazdakis, back to Simpson. Xavier Simpson now to Isaiah Livers. Livers back to Simpson. Simpson now to Livers inside the free throw line, and it goes.
Looking really good from that free throw range right there. Isaiah Livers, back-to-back shots in that same area. Low percentage shots, but looking good right there.
And now Bohannon will stay at the top, looking for a lane, gives it out to Isaiah Moss. Isaiah Moss guarded by Eli Brooks, and Moss will drive, and Eli Brooks able to take it away, goes out of bounds. Michigan basketball.
Eli Brooks has had a ton of playing time in this game right now, playing more than some of the starters. Probably will get subbed in for Jordan Poole right now. Yes, he does, as he goes to the bench and receives a railway of high fives as he works his way over to a refreshment.
And he has earned it, as John Teskey also goes to the bench. Charles Matthews and Jordan Poole in, and Michigan opting to go smaller as Simpson delivers back to Matthews on the left wing. Matthews gets it out to Livers, and Livers will pull up from 18 feet, and it goes.